Bakerworks. Hi guys, no baking tutorial today. Instead we will discuss the difference of bread flour and all-purpose flour. What is flour? Flour is typically made by finely grinding a grain into a powder, which can then be used in recipes to create a variety of baked goods. It is used to make cakes, cookies, muffins, tortillas, and bread amongst many other things. While flour is a common ingredient, not all flours are alike. In fact, some flours don't come from grains at all and can derive from different vegetables, nuts, and seeds. For example, coconut flour, which comes from the dried, ground coconut meat. Although there are numerous different kinds of flour, the two most common baking flours that often get confused are all-purpose flour and bread flour. While very similar, there are a few distinct differences between the two that it's important to take note of. Although mixing up the two flours won't ruin your baked goods entirely, it can affect your recipes slightly. What is bread flour? When originally created, bread flour was designed to be paired with yeast in order to produce the perfect baked goods, usually breads. The amount of protein found in bread flour is higher, in order to contain and produce more gluten and achieve the desired rise in bread. Because of this higher protein level, bread flour is able to absorb more liquid, allowing it to hold its shape and rise upward instead of outward. All of these elements create an incredibly sturdy flour that works wonders when used to bake a variety of different kinds of bread. The high amount of gluten in bread flour also creates a more elastic dough, which produces a lighter and chewier bread, as opposed to a bread that is more dense and crumbly. What is all-purpose flour? All-purpose flour was designed with one thing in mind, to be all-purpose. It works for just about every flour-demanding recipe, including bread, cookies, and cakes. While bread flour holds a higher protein content than that of all-purpose flour does contain quite a bit of protein. This allows the flour to remain firm and hold its structure, while still providing the perfect texture for cakes. Whether you prefer organic all-purpose flour or regular, all-purpose flour was designed to be the go-to flour when baking, and it does a pretty good job of it. While specialty flours such as cake flour and bread flour may deliver a better result than all-purpose flour, the differences are subtle and hardly noticeable by those enjoying the baked goods. What's the difference between bread flour and all-purpose flour? Bread flour has a higher protein content, which leads to more stability, form and rise in the dough, allowing it to lift and hold shape. All-purpose flour has a lower protein content, resulting in lighter, shorter breads, which makes it an ideal flour for cookies, cakes and more. All-purpose flour contains less gluten than bread flour. The higher content of gluten in bread flour makes it ideal for airy, chewy bread, rather than dense bread. Can you substitute bread flour and all-purpose flour? The answer is yes. If you're wondering if you can use all-purpose flour in place of bread flour or vice versa, you can. While the results may not be exactly the same, it will not ruin your baked goods entirely, and you'll still end up with a great result. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. Also hit the bell button so that you will be notified once we upload a new video. Thank you for watching.